Hello, this is the start of what we hope to be our weekly book chat reviews. If you'd like to join in by telling us about the books that you're reading or to comment on the ones that I talk about, if you've read them, that would be great. Today I'm going to talk about The Rosie Project by Graeme Simsion. This is also available on Overdrive, and as are the next two books in the series. I've read all three books, two of them on Overdrive and one, this hard copy that I have here. This is a sort of gentle comedy romance, if you could call a romance comedy. It's very funny. It's good-hearted and quite gentle. The main character is called Don. He's 39 years old and he's a professor of genetics at Melbourne University. He gets to the age of 39 and decides he needs to take a wife. So being a scientist, he decides to go about it in a very organised way. So he sets up a 16-page questionnaire. So he can actually tick off if people, he asks, do you smoke? If they say yes, right, that's it. Chuck that one off the list. He has a friend called Jean who is also running his own project, which involves sleeping with a woman from every country in the world. And he's actually going to be the project manager, and he will supposedly winnow through the answers and just pass on to Don the women who would make suitable wives. As it is, he sends down as a bit of a wild card a girl called Rosie. Don doesn't realise this and thinks that she really is going to be trying to apply to be his wife. So he takes her out for a meal, and the relationship starts there and continues because the first night that they go out together, Rosie tells Don that she's actually got her own project called the Father Project, where she's trying to track down her biological father. Her mum died and told her that she conceived Rosie on the night that she left university at the big party, so it has to be one of the men who was at university with her mum. So from there they go on various adventures. It's really quite clever the way it's done. Some of them are really funny. Along the way, Don actually takes his questionnaire on a speed dating session, which that's a very funny episode because he can't understand the reactions, whereas we can see exactly where the women are coming from. And so along the way, as I say, he's still seeing Rosie. He does manage to say to her that she wouldn't be a candidate to be his wife because she has so many of the things that he doesn't want in a wife. But she accepts that and they carry on to do the Father Project together. Don is a really caring character, and because of his quirks and awkwardness, that is disguised to a lot of people, but we can see it. The way that the author describes it, this Graeme Simsion, the way he describes his character is very good. It's very, very cleverly done. We also get to see a description of Don presenting a lecture on the autism spectrum, which he does for his friend Jean, who's sneaking off to see a girl. And we can see then why Don is the way he is. However, Don doesn't seem to acknowledge that any of it applies to him. So from that point of view, it's really quite interesting. He just thinks that he's a bit different, and he plays to the gallery at times to fit in. So anyway, it's a really nice story. It's a really fun story. They end up Rosie and Don go off to New York together on their quest. But at the end of the day, Don has to accept that he has to accept Rosie for who she is, just as she accepts him for who he is. It's a bit like the Friends episode where Ross makes a list between Rachel and another girl, pros and cons, and at the end of the day, the reason that he likes Rachel best is because she's Rachel. There is no special reason except for the fact that she is who she is, and that's how Don has to accept it in the end. I really like this story. It's the sort of thing you could reread probably just to cheer yourself up, because there's some very funny parts in it. I wish I could learn how to do judo from a book, or ballroom dancing, or even become a cocktail maker. But then my brain doesn't work like that, whereas Don's brain does. I'd recommend this book. So if you've read it and liked it or not liked it, let us know. If you like anything, if you know anything else along similar lines, please let us know. I'm just in the middle of reading one called Be Frank With Me, which is on Overdrive, which came up as a recommendation probably because I'd read the Rosie Project books, and that's by Julia Claiborne Johnson, I think, and that is another funny, quirky, really nice read, so give it a go.